Yo, yo, yo. Hey, what's good, y'all? Your boy is back. Back to school once again. That's right. Alright, cool. Hey, take it down a notch. Take it down a notch. Alright, bring it up. Yeah. The Horrorlander, #1 favorite horror hero, as always, fitted up for school. Classes in session. Alright? But that being said, there are demons up in here. There are demons up in here. Okay? The episode school-based media that I'm covering today, man. Cocaine ain't got shit on this. Cocaine, booger sugar, pixie dust powder, I want to build a snowman. It's got nothing on this episode. If you watch this episode, it's going to be like that scene from Doctor Strange where he opened up his mind and he got flung through the multiverse. Yo, he was seeing like fingers start growing out of his fingers. It was on some crazy stuff. That's what this episode is, man. I don't know what they were smoking when they made this. But yo, nobody can handle that. Stay away from that, all right? Don't matter how much of a crazy party animal you are. Doesn't matter if you were out in like the 70s, you know, going crazy to the Beatles and wilding out. Do not touch this. Whatever they were on when they made this episode, stay away from that. This is a PSA. Do not take that. Although, there is only one time you should take it, and that is if you have to watch this episode. You should only be on this material if you're watching this episode, yo. Oh my God. So with that, yo, if they offered it to me and I had to rewatch this thing, yo, there's a French main character girl in this story, I'd be like, oui, s'il vous plaît, yo. That aside, it's your boy, the Horrorlander, your #1 favorite horror hero. I cover all forms of horror media, whether it be movies, TV shows, books, comics, you name it. And I'm doing a back to school arc on my channel where for the month of August until we get to the beginning of September, I'm going to be doing kids horror school-based media, reviewing that, covering it, so that way it can kind of feed into the vibe of a lot of people out there, probably a lot of you guys out there that are heading back to school, heading back to college, getting ready. So yeah, that's what's going to be the rest of this month. And today I'm going to be talking about an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, the iconic kids horror TV show from Nickelodeon, SNIC, everybody. All of you guys probably know about Are You Afraid of the Dark if you're a kids horror fan, but if you don't, this was a series back in the 90s that aired on Nickelodeon. Yo, this episode has so much brain rot that I can't even speak right now. This aired on Nickelodeon. This was season 2, and this was basically a Titan, kids horror show. One of the most famous, one of the most iconic kids horror shows ever. It had like a episode run that was like over 90 episodes if you count like the 2-parters or whatever, or 3-parters on some of them. And yeah, this episode is called The Tale of Locker 22, which as the name hints, this is an episode that focuses on a school setting. It has a school-based plot, specifically with a potential haunted locker. So let me talk a little bit about this absolutely zany plot, and then I'll get into my exact thoughts. So the Tale of Locker 22 is about this exchange student. She's this French girl who has to temporarily go to this new school because her parents are on a business trip. So she's the new kid there. And you open up with the principal basically taking her, or I don't know if he's like the principal or assistant principal, but I think he's a principal. He takes her to her new locker, which is this very old, rundown locker, Locker 22. It's in a part of the school that's all like in shambles. The lockers are like covered in graffiti. They're all worn and torn down. And, she's a little bit uncomfortable by this. It's in a shady part of the school. It's far away from all the classes and people. So she asks like a reasonable person, is there any locker that's closer? Like it has to be this one. And he's like, the principal's like, you're complaining? You're you're complaining? You're a new student. You're not allowed to complain. What's wrong with you? And she's like, well, my bad. Sorry about that. And he's like, yeah, exactly. I better see you in class. And then he walks away. And I'm like, all right, prick. This dude's acting like a weirdo off rip. And as the story progresses, you may or may not find out that this locker might be haunted because you see this silent hippie girl. That's right. You see a silent hippie. You know, the, hey, man, it's all about love, man. Peace to the war, man. That kind of hippie. Obviously, it doesn't say any of that because this hippie's silent, but you see her approach this locker as the girl walks away. And then they cut to a chemistry class, and you got this really strange chemistry teacher that says in like this weird monotone voice, like, everybody please suck the liquid out of the straw. And I couldn't help but laugh, bro. I was like, I hit the rock face like probably 18 times through this like 20-something minute run episode. It has so many WTF moments in it. Like this chemistry teacher is acting like a weirdo. He's like, yo, pause on everything that this dude is saying, bro. He's hella sus. He's like, suck the liquid through the straw, please. And obviously, kids are doing it. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but the exchange girl takes it. She accidentally inhales some of the chemical. She ends up gagging and drops the beaker that has the liquid, and it shatters on the ground. And then this bootleg Bulk and Skull from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, this duo called like Fritz and Don or something, I don't know. This blonde kid and then this black-haired kid with shades. They basically pull up and they like stand right next to her and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be dropping your liquids. You're dropping the beaker. Next time it's going to be acid. And they're like giving her like a hard time. They're acting like a really Dollar Tree version of Bulk and Skull from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And no offense to Bulk and Skull, those dudes were already the Dollar Tree bootleg shit that was in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So if you got the bootleg on the bootleg, yo, my homie Ezekiel, who be selling bootleg copies all the time for $49.99, he's got competition with these two. These two are his prime customers. In fact, these two would be suppliers to Ezekiel. They'd be running up the market over there in the Chicago alleyways, bro. But either way, these two bullies are like acting weird around her. They're acting like flirtatious, but at the same time, they're like clowning her. And then this dude comes up, this guy, who basically tries to like talk her up. And he's a good actor. I mean, he's a pretty good actor for the most part. But he ends up trying to talk her up and make her feel more comfortable. And then when he's about to walk out, she turns around and sees this silent hippie girl just across the table looking at her, not saying a thing. And then the French girl's like, oh, you scared of me. That's my French accent. It's awful. It's like, oh, you scared me. And then, she doesn't say anything. And then the dude comes back and says, yo, are you coming with me? And then she decides to ignore the girl and then leave. Well, doesn't decide to ignore it because when she looks back at the girl is gone. So you get implied that maybe this is the ghost. For some reason, this hippie girl is a ghost. Okay, I don't know what that's going to play into. So she leaves. They then get to the lunchroom. And obviously the French girl, the main character, is eating by herself. And then Bulk and Skull show up again. I can't say Bulk and Skull. Doll and Call. That's what I'm going to call them. Doll and Call show up again. And they sit right next to her, elbow to elbow. And they're like making for like... And like they're talking in like third person. They're like, hey, Fritz, did you hear about this one new girl who like was sucking up liquids through a straw and dropped her beaker? And he's like, yeah, man, that was so uncool, broski. And then next thing you know, he's like, yeah, it kind of went like this. And then he sucks up some milk through his straw and he's about to spray it in the main girl's face. But she realizes what he's about to do. She moves away and starts crawling away on the floor. And he ends up spraying it to the other bully. And then they start having a food fight. And then the principal comes out and he's like, everybody, shut up, you kids. I hate you kids. Like a Rottweiler, bro. I'm like, bro, why is this dude acting like a Rottweiler every 5 seconds he's on screen, bro? It's the most sitcom cartoon version of a character, bro. It's like that screaming movie theater lady from Drake and Josh. Remember when you guys, I grew up watching Drake and Josh. You remember on Drake and Josh when there was that movie theater lady who was always screaming, acting crazy? She's like, Josh, get the popcorn, get the drinks. That's how this dude acts, bro. He's just like a straight up Doberman. Like he's a Rottweiler. He's always barking at everybody. And then they're all clowning him. They're all ignoring him. Just straight up, flat out sitcom type of characters. And then he threatens the bullies. And then he starts yelling at people. And then he goes up to this girl, a main character. And he's like, are you a troublemaker? Because you don't know who you're messing with. And then he just runs away while he's covered in food. I'm like, okay, whatever. And as the story progresses, you know, she goes back to her locker and then sees the hippie girl again, and the hippie girl doesn't say anything, and then the hippie girl disappears. And then she goes and talks to the other guy, and when she's talking to the other guy, she eventually reluctantly tells him that she saw a ghost, and he initially blows it off, and she goes back home and is pretty much disappointed with how school's been going. And she ends up getting a phone call in her room, and she picks up the phone, and I guess it's the bullies, Fritz and the Dolan Call dude, basically clowning and pretending to be ghosts, and she hangs up and gets mad. Then she heads back to school. The next day, she blows off her friend who's been trying to be nice to her because she suspects that he snitched and told people, and that's why now they're all going to think that she's the crazy foreign girl. They're basically going to be making fun of her, and she's reasonably mad. And then when that happens, basically, he has to then... Oh, sorry, cue on my YouTube. Yo, even YouTube is acting up weird right now. I had a YouTube thing going on, started acting up. Basically, as the story continues and she goes to her locker, she then encounters Dolk and Skull again. And Dolk and Skull are basically dressed up as ghosts. One of them is dressed up as a ghost. And the other dude's like, hey, girl, I heard that you saw a ghost the other day. And, oh, look over there, ooga booga. And then, obviously, it's this homie dressed up in this white sheet with just drawn eyeballs. And she goes over there and shoves him and then just walks away. You might be wondering what's the plot of the movie. The episode. Well, it felt like a movie because this runtime, even 20 minutes, is way too long for this absolute brain rot. And then she eventually comes to the conclusion. She finds out that when she puts on this necklace that was left in her locker, which looks like the same necklace on this hippie girl that keeps disappearing and appearing, she puts on the necklace and she travels back to the 60s, where everybody in this school is a hippie. Yeah, everybody in the school is dressed up as hippies in the 60s with this yellow camera filter that looks nasty. And then the principal's got like a full, like, I don't know, like side Wolverine sideburns connected to his mustache. And he's like, hey, you better learn some manners, man, when he's talking to people. It's just weird. And like, it's your typical, hey, Candy. They call her Candy. They call her Candy Warren. So she suspects that's not my name. They probably think that I'm somebody else during this time period. Maybe they think that I'm the girl because I'm wearing her necklace for some reason. And they're all like, hey, Candy, you want to go listen to the Beatles' White Album, man? Yeah, man. Love and peace, man. And then she runs into a dude and he's like, whoa, relax there, dudette.
3, 2, 1.
It's brain rot! It's brain rot! I need help! Help me! Look here. I have to review this dog shit for you. For you. Oh, this is shit. This is I'm losing brain cells. Just talking about it. Look. I'm going crazy, man. I'm seeing shit, man. Yeah, man, I'm losing it, man. If you don't hit that subscribe button and that like button, yo, I'm gonna put that hippie necklace around each and every single one of you right now. I ain't even finished the review yet. Right now, smash that like button like it owes you money. Smash that subscribe button like it owes you pixie stick dust. Not that guy, you drug addict. I'm talking about actual pixie stick dust. I'm kidding, I'm talking about cocaine. You need it just to get through this episode. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification, and share this video, bro. I'm losing brain cells. I need a buddy. I need a buddy system when I'm watching this stuff. Who wrote this? Who thought this was okay? Y'all really were in the studio at Nickelodeon. You know, Nickelodeon, bro. They were out there trying to come up with the plot. And then they handed the one stoner dude. And he was like, I got you. Hold on. There's this chick, man. She's French. I dated a French girl back in high school, I remember. She moves into this totally not cool studio, am I right? And then she meets Bulk and Skull. Oh, and they're like so not cool with her. And then guess what? The ghost, let's make her a hippie, dog. They ain't never seen this before. It's a hippie. And oh, I gotta find out what to do with the next. Hold on. The hippie necklace takes her back to the 70s, bro. They gonna watch it anyway. They gonna pay me money anyway. Here you go. I'll take direct deposit, y'all. The necklace takes her back to the hippie era. She finds out, uh-oh, something happened to the girl. She gets stuck in the era. The friend dude comes in, maybe talks to the hippie girl, is like, all right, we could change the past, and that'll affect the future, man. So we're going back to the future once we get out of the past, man. And then the hippie girl, who doesn't talk the entire episode, then speaks for the first time during this climax, and it's a cheesy line delivery. And then they cut back to the future, and oh, kumbaya ending. In fact, a character has a new fate that happens to him that will make you go, wowzers, yummers. That's it. That's the plot. This episode gets a 4 out of 10. If you like this episode, if you enjoy this episode, let me tell y'all this, bro. I know what you did before you hit that play button on YouTube or wherever you were streaming or watching it at. Let's go, man. That's what you did before you click play. You can't convince me otherwise that is not what you did. You can't convince me otherwise. This is not the worst episode in Are You Afraid of the Dark, surprisingly. But oh my god, it's brain rot, bro. I have the caveman. I can't even pronounce my sentences correctly, bro. I have the intellect of a caveman. Okay? Not the sharpest knife in the shed. Oh, you get that analogy? After I watched this, I reverted back to a single cell amoeba. I went back to the amoeba era. I went back to the primordial soup. This episode will take you back to the primordial soup. You know that meme of that monkey that gets that neuron activation and just goes? That's what happens when you watch this episode. You're going to get the neuron activation and you're going to go back to the Ooga Booga era, to the Mammoth era, to hunting Smilodon. And then you're going to go back even further to the primordial soup where giant krakens were going around in the seas and dinosaurs were still not there yet. That's where you're going to go back to after you watch this episode. It gets a 4 out of 10. One of the messiest plots I've ever seen in Are You Afraid of the Dark? The characters do a poor job acting. The only good character is the friend dude, and even he gets some cheesy lines. The plot is all over the place. The villain has 0 threat level, just a hippie girl. She doesn't say a single thing the entire episode until one cheesy line delivery at the end. You get this terrible camera filter. You get this shit-ass school that apparently was full of hippies back in the day. And then you end up with this kumbaya ending, just like what Are You Afraid of the Dark loves to do. Yeah. Cocaine has nothing on the tail of Locker 22. So this episode gets a certified booger sugar, pixie dust powder, party dust, want to build a snowman, whatever other epithets cocaine has. This is getting the award. The award that I'm going to give to every... There is a new award that I'm putting into place for every TV show I watch. If there's one brain rot weird episode, it's going to get the award, the I'm in love with the Coco. Yeah, I'm in love with the Coco. This is getting the I'm in love with the Coco award, all right? So thank you, Are You Afraid of the Dark? You just won a new accolade. Forget the NAACP award. Forget the Best Writing award. Forget the Best Kids Horror TV Show award. Forget the Best Makeup Effects award. You just earned the most gratifying award that anybody could get, handed from your boy himself. The I'm in love with the Coco award. 4 out of 10. Only watch this if you're out one late night and you took some shrooms and you want to go on a Doctor Strange multiverse voyage. And that's all I got for today. If you liked the video, I already said it, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification icon just so I can recharge my aura and continue the back to school arc on this channel. And that's really all I got. I got nothing left. Well, that's the bell. I gotta go, y'all. See ya. You know if they're serving pizza today at the lunch table? Because last time I took the ravioli and I got food poisoning.